Hi you guys, today we're going to be talking about Tiffany Henyard, and for those of you who don't know yet, Tiffany Henyard is the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, and she also serves as supervisor in Thornton Township. Now, I've been covering Tiffany Henyard for a little while now, but the attention and chaos surrounding her always seems to get a little bit worse every week. I mean, she even admitted she's doing nothing different now than what was done before her. I think the difference she's doing now is she's taking it to the 1000th degree, because there's a lot of shady politicians out there. There's a lot of shady people in government who are getting a lot of money, okay, off the taxpayers. The difference in Tiffany Henyard is she's getting in her own way. Why? Because like I said, she just can't sit down. She can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Okay. How could one person cause so much chaos and get so many people upset enough that they would take time out of their lives to go stand in line for hours to get into these board meetings and basically roast her at every chance they get? I believe Tiffany Henyard is a sociopath. Now, I'm just going to say this for YouTube's sake. I'm not a psychologist or a professional in mental health. That being said, let's get started. I feel like Tiffany Henyard is a sociopath.
A sociopath is a person with a personality disorder manifesting itself in extreme antisocial attitudes and behavior and a lack of conscience. Sociopaths can't tolerate stability, and they sabotage it whenever they can.
Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard has a new crisis on her hands. She's being booted out of her home. Fox 32 has obtained copies of an eviction notice filed in Cook County Court against Henyard and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods.
I know this is a smear campaign, right? Smear campaign.
Their landlord says they're not paying the rent. She talked with Dane Placco.
Right now, I feel like I'm at wit's end. I have nowhere else to turn.
No. Janetta Hull says she considered Tiffany Henyard a friend and even did campaign work for the Dolton mayor and Thornton Township supervisor. But things changed in 2021 when she was about to rent out this 3-bedroom, 2-bath home she owns in Dolton to a family and got a late-night call from the mayor.
And she's like, hey, this is Mayor Henyard. And I'm like, hi. And then she's like, I heard that you were renting your house. And I said, yeah. And I said, I have somebody that's moving in soon. And she says, no, they can't move in because I want it. And I'm like, excuse me?
Feeling pressured, Hull says she agreed to rent the house to Henyard and her boyfriend, Kamal Woods. Henyard signed the original lease, and on the line asking about her job.
You see here, she only put mayor for employment.
So Hull went to court and filed an eviction lawsuit against Henyard and Woods. But Cook County sheriffs have tried and failed to serve that suit, both at the home and Village Hall. She says Henyard blocked her months ago, but with all the controversy surrounding Henyard's spending of tax dollars, she wants to send the mayor a message.
At some point, you would have to understand that karma is going to catch up to you. Just pay your rent.
They thrive on chaos and danger, and on living life at the edge of a cliff. We've already talked a little bit about Tiffany Henyard checking all the boxes that would describe her as a textbook narcissist. So some common narcissistic behaviors that Tiffany shows on a regular basis are lack of empathy, sense of entitlement, arrogant thinking and behavior, grandiosity, which is an unrealistic sense of superiority in which someone believes themselves to be unique and better than others.
When I give a order, we're supposed to follow them because I am the leader for the community. Because when the hate don't work, they start telling lies. And that's what this board of trustees have done. Majority of them ran on my ticket. And when they ran on my ticket, they got their seat. It was to follow the mayor's vision. You guys want respect? Y'all have to give it. I am your leader. I am the one that won by 82%. I am the one that carry you, trustee Jason House, you, Kiana Belcher, that never wins anything, over the hump. That's why you guys have your seats that you have before you. So when you get in these board meetings and you act a fool, y'all should stop.
Unrealistic sense of superiority. Now, let's talk about some sociopathy traits that Tiffany regularly exhibits. A sense of entitlement, manipulation, lack of empathy for others, attempting to control others with threats or aggression.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Valerie Stubbs, and this question is for the mayor. At the last board meeting, I made a statement about you coming out in the back of my house last winter.
Tiffany Henyard, and this is what it looks like when you pull up on your haters.
When I called and emailed Mr. Correll about the snow because I live on a snow route.
Yeah, let me show you what I'm about to do. See this? Everyone needs help, just remember that.
Someone from your office called my house on several occasions and asked me to come out. Couldn't figure out why, but now I know. Because Miss Henyard here wanted to videotape me.
Watch how you treat people because you never know when you need the help, okay? But guess what? I am there for all my haters. It doesn't matter because I'm the mayor of all of Dolton. The good, the bad, the ugly, and even the hateful.
And say that she was helping me get out my garage when I wasn't going anywhere because I'm retired.
I am your mayor. So, here we go. Let's go. Got my crew. See this? Look, we finna go and help. No problem. I'm like, oh, you call me? Oh, no.
When I wasn't going anywhere because I'm retired, didn't have any place to go, and I was looking out like I always look out for my neighbors that can't get out, that have to go to work.
Hey, same to you. We have Valerie Stubbs, look. And I'm helping her get out of her garage. So she needs help to get out of her alley. See? I'm here. I'm here to help you no matter what and how you treat me. I'm still here, front and center.
Mr. Corral, winter is coming again. We need our alley plowed so people can get out to go to work. I'm retired. I won't be going to work.
Front and center. I stopped what I was doing to come and help. So we plow her out. Out in the alley.
Friday, Mayor, you came by my house with an entourage of Tahoes. I have it on video with the lights flashing, which is illegal. And you asked a young lady that came downstairs that you wanted to know where was Stubbs. I text you, I called you to ask you, what did you want with me?
So don't forget, I help everyone. It doesn't matter what you do or say about me. I'm gonna pull up and I'm gonna show out and I'm gonna make sure you're safe, all right? Safety is my top priority.
So I would like a response because I'm here today to ask you, what did you want with me? You're not welcome at my house. Do not come by there anymore. And I think I'm being harassed.
It doesn't matter what you do or say about me. I'm gonna pull up and I'm gonna show out and I'm gonna make sure you're safe.
New drama tonight involving a controversial politician in the south suburbs. Tiffany Henyard was the only Thornton Township leader to show up for a scheduled meeting.
Everyone entering this building behind me had to go through security, and it was because of lack of security the trustees opted to not attend tonight's meeting. The reason trustees did not show up, they argue, is due to this.
Like I said, it was about to get physical.
Trustee Chris Gonzalez sat out Tuesday night's meeting after he claims the trustees got no response from Henyard about how she could keep these meetings safe.
Well, I do know the trustee also did send a communication to the state. We need some help here because this is getting out of control and, somebody's going to get hurt.
And Henyard implied this was a stall tactic by the trustees.
To say that it's an antic, well, let's sit down and put something together, a safety plan, and then we'll just take it from there. But once again, there's no communication.
Safety is my top priority. Safety is my top priority.
Safety is my top priority.
She never admits to any mistakes or wrongdoings, lying for personal gain. So the lying for personal gain is basically the underlying cause of all this controversy, right? On the one hand, you have Tiffany saying, oh, you guys get what you need and you get it sent to you on time. On the other hand, you have the trustees and the residents saying, the residents are asking questions. Their questions are never getting answered. And the trustees are saying, hey, you don't send us the information in time for us to vote on these things. And they're still wanting clarity on certain things before they vote on them. And rightfully they should, because they are the trustees. They are entrusted with the spending of the taxpayer dollars.
Question or my ask would be, last week Thursday I did email a request regarding some of the personnel lines that are within the budget, that those be expounded on kind of like they were last year. My suggestion is that we push this into a finance committee meeting until we can get further discussion on these items.
So I don't see why everybody want to push things further back. You can ask your questions now. The staff is here. They can answer any questions that the board may have. I know that this was on agenda 2 weeks ago, and we stopped and did not have a actual hearing. So this is the hearing that we're having today to talk about the budget.
This type of attitude about handling the taxpayers' money, it's what's building this whole culture of mistrust, not only from the trustees, but also from the residents.
Okay, you just said this was a committee of the whole meeting. I thought it was a special board, special meeting because we're voting on items. Also, the email that did go out, the trustees' house is in reference to the elaboration of the budget, because it's all summarized and clumped together versus being itemized as it was never responded to. There are some concerns on this budget. Once again, we got it on May 2nd, I believe, at 3:26. You wanted us to talk about it and discuss it at a public hearing for the residents. The residents hadn't even been eligible to look at it because we had just got it a couple of hours before the meeting. At this moment right now, I am uncomfortable to even attempt to approve this budget because of what I've seen over the last 10 months has put me into a scare of where we would be by December at the rate that things are going. So I am not comfortable at all voting on this budget tonight.
So for the record, we did not ask for a vote, we asked for a discussion.
So let's do a quick rewind and see what she said in the beginning about this budget.
Next on the agenda is approvals. Discussion and approval of ordinance 22- adopting the 2022-2023 annual appropriation ordinance budget.
So yeah, she said discussion and approval. She is not being transparent and she's not being forthcoming about the village's true financial state.
Just a rebuttal on the agenda, it says discussion and approval. So please don't come at me like I can't read. It says discussion and approval, meaning that if it's discussed and we agree, we would be voting on it tonight. So please don't do that, Mayor.
Yes. It's discussion and approval. Last year, we went through every budget item line by line, which takes hours. We cannot pass this without it being public. It's not on the website. This is $26 million of budget, village finances, taxpayers' money that we can't just brush off like it's something easy. All we're asking is to take the time like we did last year. The first year we passed the budget, we sat down right here with the village administrator right there and went through every line with the finance director. When you were a trustee, we would have to present the budget to the board. It wasn't on a meeting like this. It would be one meeting for the budget, and you went through every line. We're not doing that now.
Process.
Mayor.
Megan, please go ahead.
I just got a statement.
Go ahead.
Are we doing a budget soon so we don't have to go back and forth? That way we can budget for whatever the salary will be.
We probably will be starting budget this April.
Okay, I think we should do that because everybody's spending money tonight and we should actually sit down and talk as a board, as a whole, get on one accord with the money and how to spend the money. Because right now, everybody got different opinions of how to spend it.
We did the same thing last year. Last year, you all brought it to us, but you didn't bring it to a finance committee meeting. You didn't want to discuss it with the people, and we denied it. We said to you all then, hey, we are not approving this budget unless we go over it with the people, the residents. After you all decided, after we denied it, you all decided to let it go to a finance committee meeting. We approved it after everyone understood exactly what we approving. We're just saying, let's do the same thing this year. Take it to a finance committee meeting so it's all detailed and go forward with approving it.
Let's go ahead and take a trip back in time and look at Trustee Tiffany Henyard and her thoroughness of the budget, of the line items she had questions about. Let's just go ahead and have a little look-ski at how she would handle these certain situations with the previous mayor and his administration.
Took it down to $25,000.
Why so low?
Well, you only spent $77.50 the year prior.
Well, I understand that, but you already know my issue. Everybody do trees. So I prefer it to stay where it's at. I understand we're doing cuts, but a lot of residents complain about getting their tree trimmed or tree cut down. So I think that budget amount should stay where it's at so we can increase that.
And they used to have these finance committee meetings where she would attend and she would go over the budget line by line. But it seems now that she's mayor, she's totally forgotten about that.
Well, can we increase that line? I know that don't sound right because I know we're doing budget cuts.
That falls in your part. Or
well, my vote is to increase that line. I know you dropped it to 10. I know we do need it. I get a ton of complaints about it, which you know. I hit your email up, your phone up. So we need to increase tree cut. I'm not saying to add to it. I'm saying he cut his budget too much. I get calls left or right about cutting down a tree or trimming it, either or. So all I'm saying is that he needs to increase it more. He cut it too much. That's what I'm saying.
For the tree trimming, it was reduced from $50,000 to $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
That was not something that Matt and myself did. That was actually a recommendation of Mr. Kemp. That's his amended budget.
Oh, then you know it's a definitely no for me.
So that's not
no. Definitely no. I don't listen to Mr. Kemp, but you do know that. You run our day-to-day operations. I wish the board would respect that. They should ask you your opinion, and when you give your opinion, it should be noted, and we should all come to one agreement with that. I think it should be half, $25,000 for tree trim.
I have 25. So if you look in column O, 221,
I see it.
I cut it from 50 to 25.
Well, I agree with that.
She was able to haggle with the budget, go back and forth, take down some items that she didn't agree with, lower them, higher them, whatever the case may be. There was transparency there, okay?
Let's do that again. We've done that for the past 8 years. When we were trustee, we would have to present the budget to the board. It wasn't on a meeting like this. It would be one meeting for the budget, and you went through every line. We're not doing that now. We're not saying we're against the budget. We're just saying be transparent with it.
And what do you think her response to that is?
So, as relates to us doing it the right way, I stand on transparency. I've done that for 8 years as a trustee, and now in my 1 year as mayor, I've done transparency as well. So when it comes to the budget items, you guys have time to look it over and come to a meeting and be adults about it and see the budget for what it is and ask the questions. If you guys wanted to have a committee meeting or any other type of meeting, you could have called me. All I'm asking, if you had 20 questions, why didn't you submit 20 questions to any other department head so they could answer the questions that you needed answered?
You know, she's always accusing them of not reaching out to the department heads when Jason House said that he did. And this next clip I'm going to show you guys is kind of interesting because it has been said that Keith the Thief Freeman, which is a nickname he's earned because of bankruptcy, indictment, and everything. So it's a hot mess. It said that he has a background in IT. And there's also been accusations that he would go into the emails on the back end, change things up, switch things. You know, those are accusations. But let's go ahead and look at this clip of something he did at one of the board meetings that showed his dishonesty.
Can I reorganize?
Go ahead.
First off, for clarity and transparency, when you keep saying that everything you got, we got, Keith Freeman just went in his office and sent this to us when we just said something about it at, what time is it? 8 o'clock at night. We did not have the corporate, credit card bills. We have not had the credit card bills since March when we got it. The finance director sits here every meeting and says absolutely nothing. I don't understand why we have to wait till Sunday to Monday, 2 hours before the meeting to get stuff that you want us to vote on.
So they're in the middle of a board meeting and, you know, Tiffany's saying that they should have got something already. But meanwhile, Keith sneaks his little self in the back and emails it to them during the meeting. Probably wasn't counting on Kiana to call him out. She's gonna call him out. She's gonna call whoever out on whatever they're doing wrong, and she's gonna set the record straight. Just doing something little like that, just so blatantly and kind of like, I dare you to call me out. That's what you're thinking, or he's thinking like, ain't nobody gonna say nothing. They're just gonna continue arguing about whatever they argue about. I'm sure he wasn't counting on her calling him out. I know that much.
A lot of people don't know that I do so much more than what you see in headlines. For instance, we do pay your bills. So if you're struggling, you need help with your light, your gas, your water. He even just stated burial assistance because people are dying. Here today, gone today. It ain't here today, gone tomorrow.
Okay, first of all, she's highlighting Thornton Township services, and she's in Dolton right now. Does she understand where she is right now? I don't think she really cares. Also, she seems to be taking credit for programs that sound like they already existed before she got there. But of course, you know, Tiffany, being the narcissist that she is, that's just my opinion, she's gonna find anything that she can take credit for. I mean, that explains all the billboards, all the flyers. As you guys can see as I'm talking, I'm just gonna put up some images of just the ridiculousness of it all, of her PR.
All I'm saying to you is just start now. It shouldn't be that it turned to a new year for you to make something right. Just make it right because you found in your heart to do something better than what you used to do.
Okay, and you guys, this is the kicker. Then she goes to talk about how what she's experiencing is black on black crime.
It's a shame that it's black on black crime. I'm already got a lot of racial stuff that come my way, but it's a shame when I got to fight my own people. It's like, dang, every night I got to fight to prove my love.
When the only one ever being accused of any crime is her. And she's black last time I checked, and the majority of Dolton is black last time I checked. So who's really doing the black on black crime to who? It's just so much hypocritical stuff that continues to just spew out of her mouth. It's like, when does the madness end? When does it end? Oh my goodness. You guys, I can't sometimes. I just can't.
Well, the problem I have with you guys coming to board meetings and acting as though y'all don't get things, I don't appreciate. I think this year you should tell the truth that you guys don't do your job. And if you need information, you should ask for information that you feel you need.
How does that make sense? They're saying you didn't send them stuff and you're saying they didn't do their job. No, it sounds like someone on your team didn't do their job. And then it sounds like a lot of gaslighting, because it's literally their job to look after the village's financial state.
Call the roll, Clerk.
Mayor, you asked for discussion, then I tried to speak and you started talking. So can I?
No, I didn't start talking. I didn't hear you say anything. But if you want to say something, just ask to be recognized again.
Well, can I
we
be
gonna run this
recognized?
business the way it's supposed to? Let's be respectable. Follow Robert rules of order. But go ahead, since you got something to say now.
I do have something to say.
Oh my goodness. I could tell Kiana was really trying to contain herself. Kiana is the one that usually sticks up for herself. This was earlier in the year. There was a recent board meeting where she just went off. She had had enough. And the way Tiffany was talking here just shows why Kiana had reached that boiling point, because she just talks to them disrespectfully on a continuous basis. You know, and they are trying to uphold their professionalism, so they put up with it. And they're trying to look out for the village of Dolton.
And you made it very clear that these have been paid. Last meeting, which I said, and the finance director wasn't here at that time, but I'm so glad she's here now. She stated that we didn't have a credit card anymore because she said the trustees cut it off.
That's true.
Oh, okay, so if we don't have, I requested in the email, could we get the final statement? Because if we haven't received the credit card since May of 2023, and she stated that we cut it off, no documentation has showed that it's been cut off. So what card are they using outside of ACH debits?
You know, like I know, anybody that understand money know that you cannot see anybody's information when someone else is on the bank account.
That's
That
not
means
a
the
debit
credit card. Hold
It's a
on.
credit card, not
That's
a
what I'm
debit
speaking
card.
of. You gonna let me finish?
Go ahead.
That's what I said. We got to be respectful. You say your stuff, I'll be quiet. You got to be quiet when I talk. So what I'm saying to you is that if you guys have done that, which y'all did as trustees, no one up here could see anything that y'all was doing for an entire year. We didn't have access to anything because Jason House was on the bank account, and so was Allison Key. The mayor wasn't on it. So we couldn't call, check up, check in, see what was going on, because you guys was the holders on the account. So that's number one. Number two, I'm going to let her respond to your question, because you get here at a board meeting and you know how to pick up the phone, call my phone. Hopefully you'll do that this year, since you said you want change and you want us to work together. It had to start by starting Trustee Belcher.
I highly doubt that. That none of them could see the information except for the trustees. I don't think so. But she's not answering the question, right? She's going around what Kiana Belcher was asking in the first place. They just want to know the status of the credit card bill. It shouldn't be this difficult for trustees to get information from the mayor and their administration.
Could have called if you had questions instead of coming put on the same show we just did for an entire year. Y'all should be tired of that. Y'all should be ready to actually do some progress in the village besides sit here and we arguing over a warrant list. Come on now.
And then you want to say we arguing over a warrant list. Come on now. No, you're arguing over money, the taxpayers' money. She like so nonchalantly trying to just brush it off. Like, why y'all arguing with me? Just pay what I want y'all to pay and don't ask any questions, okay? I run this. That's what she's acting like, you guys.
People do work in our village. They should be paid for the work they have done. But yet y'all hold the progress, hold the people hostage, picking and choosing who y'all want to pay. That's not right. That's discriminatory. You guys are discriminating against people because what? They didn't give y'all money for y'all D2s? Like, why do y'all pull people out of this trustee house? Y'all need to stop with the mess. Go ahead, finance director.
Our bank accounts do not have a debit card, to be clear. The credit cards are issued by the bank. The last card was canceled or suspended in June by whoever had administrative rights over that account, which is not anyone sitting up here.
Thank you.
That's staff. So the last statement that you received was in June for that account.
The last statement we received was in May. Janice Johnson had access to the account. So for Mayor, for you to sit there and say only the clerk and Jason House, that's an absolute lie because she cuts the check. So I'm sure she wasn't cutting the check blindly.
The finance director, whoever person she is, just sat up there and said stuff that didn't even matter. Saying the credit cards are issued by the bank. Well, yeah, who else would issue them, first of all? And then also saying, no one up here canceled the credit card. And she's basically acting like they couldn't see anything that's going on with the credit card. They didn't have access to it. Well, if you couldn't see anything going on with the credit card, okay, but we know there was access to it because Tiffany was running around, going to Vegas, doing a bunch of stuff with the credit card. So it's just like, just stop the insanity already.
Facing an uprising at home, Tiffany Henyard went on the road. It was a public relations tour meant to combat her critics. It wound up raising more questions than it answered, and once again, cost her community.
Y'all are black, and y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
When angry residents began filling public meetings to demand answers after WGN Investigates exposed more than $100,000 spent on first-class travel, meals, and more, this suburban mayor and township supervisor attempted to silence her critics through a series of interviews.
We got elected to serve. That's it. We didn't get elected to make sure we like one another.
Those interviews took place in Washington, D.C. and New York, and Henyard traveled with a small entourage that was at least partially paid for by taxpayers. Credit card records show township taxpayers were charged more than $3,000 by a photographer who said he was paid to take pictures of Henyard on set. They also paid $561 for the photographer's airfare. At the same time, a township credit card was charged $1,100 for 13 Uber rides.
She's on a mission for herself. I mean, so no, the township should not be paying for that.
Chris Gonzalez has been the sole dissenting voice on the township board, but there are signs Henyard's support is splintering. Residents now routinely jam township and village board meetings. The charges we know about come from Thornton Township. We don't know if Dolton taxpayers also picked up a portion of the cost, including airfare and hotel, because Dolton has failed to follow state transparency laws, even an attorney general's order to turn over financial records. But we can tell you Henyard's spending, along with contracts, permits, and payments to her allies, including her boyfriend, are now the focus of a wide-ranging federal investigation that covers a lot of the same ground we've reported.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
Also, we have stuff on this list from June. She makes the decisions what checks go out, what y'all tell her to hold and not hold. So that means she had access because we had emails from the bank that showed the people that had access and control, because at some point you guys stopped letting the clerk and Jason House even see what was in the account. So don't get up here and say nobody had access to the account, because Janice Johnson and I'm sure the finance director Tanjanique had access.
Just tell it. Just tell the truth. Tell the truth and shame the devil, okay?
So when you state facts, state the truth. State facts that make sense. You're making up things that sound good for you or what you feel that you want doing or whatever with a credit card. Stop. Whatever with a credit card. Stop. I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it again. All y'all have to do is ask. All y'all got to do is call me. I tell all y'all that. Don't none of y'all call me. All y'all got to do is call me. I tell all y'all that. Don't none of y'all call me.
So please reach out, and I'm giving you that number again, 708-297-6859. And my cell number, which I used to always give, I know you know about heart now, 708-297-6859. Again, that number is 708-297-6859. My phone number, 708-297-6859. Again, that number is 708-297-6859. And you can reach out to anybody on the board, but I do show up and show out for the residents. So please reach out.
Hello, everyone. My name is Naomi LaPresto. And I'm the person that keep texting you and you don't answer. And I'm the person that keep calling you. You're the person that I keep calling, you never answer. I text you, you don't answer. So that's why I said to you, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I ask you to stop giving out your number if you're not going to answer people.
You can reach out to anybody on the board, but I do show up and show out for the residents. So please reach out. All you gotta do is call me. I tell all y'all that. Don't none of y'all call me.
Stop giving out your number if you're not going to answer people. Okay?
Okay, well, I apologize if I didn't answer or respond to you.
Okay.
Because y'all too busy fighting. Y'all too busy doing a smear campaign. And all you gotta do is call if y'all wanted any type of information. Any.
They should not have to call you, okay? They shouldn't have to come looking, begging for the information on the finances. Why? Because they're the trustees. That's their job. They should have the stuff handed to them on a silver platter.
When you sit here and you say we don't want to go back and forth, we do not want to go back and forth. But then you all say out of your mouths, we have credit card statements that we don't have. They're missing. They're clearly missing if we do not have them, if they were not emailed to us, if they were not sent to us. And as we all know, my viewpoint access, our access has been denied, restricted, should I say. So yes, we can access it, but we cannot look up receipts. I remember as a trustee, you sat in that very seat and you stated to the mayor at the time that you would not blindly vote on bills or options that you've met on things that were purchased that you cannot present receipts or evidence for.
Credit card invoices. I've asked at the last board meeting, and I don't know if you guys recall, the mayor stated that we could put the credit card bills on the warrant list. It is not on here. I've asked, and I cannot approve bills and not know what I'm approving because I have nothing in front of me to say the mayor could have went on a trip with the credit card. How would I know? Because the bill is not in front of me. So again, Mayor, what happened to you putting the credit card bills on the warrant list?
I don't put the credit card bills on the warrant list, and you have the opportunity to vote no on anything that's on the warrant list.
I understand my rights as a trustee. I don't need you to inform me. My question was, I asked for you to place it on the warrant list.
I don't put things on the warrant list.
No. Last board meeting, you stated we can, and it's not on here. The credit card bills. I would like to see itemized credit card bills on the warrant list moving forward for the record, because I cannot make good decisions based off of the information you're giving me without the credit card bills. I need that. Other than that, I am voting blindly, so is the entire board. So I would advise the board to look into that and understand what they're voting for, because we're just voting for stuff and not knowing what we're approving.
Trustee Tiffany Henyard, back in the day, and it wasn't even that far back in the day. This was 2019? Just, tearing the mayor up. I'm aware of my rights as a trustee. I told you to put this credit card bill on the list. Like, she was disrespectful back then. How did she even become mayor is beyond me. I mean, I have some ideas, of course, because, you know, she knows how to campaign. She knows how to sell herself when she wants to. But now that she's in the position of power, the gloves came off, baby. It's over. Okay. So she's put all that past trustee transparency behind her. Okay. She's done with that. She don't want anybody asking her about the credit cards now that she's mayor. Okay. She don't want to hear Trustee Henyard. Now, I'm not a political scientist or anything like that, but I've been paying closer attention to politics since this whole fiasco with Tiffany Henyard landed on my radar. So in a way, I guess you could say she is educating me. Okay. But it's really because of her outright corruptness, allegedly, and a myriad of other things such as failed businesses, arrest records, slumlord accusations, and the list goes on, that I became curious as to how someone like this was able to position herself not in just one, but in 2 seats of leadership. Why would people put someone like Tiffany Henyard into a position of power in the first place? And I found a reason why they would. As I was reading through my comments and through other YouTubers' comments on videos dealing with politics, and while reading through those comments, there was always one consistent conversation starter that kept popping up: identity politics. In one form or another, that's what people were bringing up for discussion. So I figure, why not talk about it? First of all, let's talk about what it is. So I did a little Google search, and this is what I found. Identity politics is politics based on a particular identity, such as race, nationality, religion, gender, sexual orientation, social background, social class, and caste. So let's get into some examples I found that show the influence identity politics had over Tiffany Henyard's election as mayor, as well as her nomination as the Thornton Township supervisor. So there are 4 people who stuck out to me when I thought about identity politics as it pertains to Tiffany Henyard's reign of terror. That's what I'm going to call it. That's what I'm calling it now. Get used to it. All right, so these 4 people are Trustee Brittany Norwood, Trustee Kiana Belcher, Trustee Christopher Gonzalez, and Dr. Nikita Cloud, who was once Tiffany's chief of staff and who was also in charge of her PR at one time. I'm not doing this to shame anyone for their decisions they have made or put anyone on blast. In fact, I think it's an honest and courageous thing to do when people are open enough to explain the real reasons why they voted the way they did and why they supported Tiffany Henyard at one point. Keep in mind, all these people are not on her side anymore.
In regards to the mayor, I've always looked up to her. As trustee, she stayed at every meeting. Hey, my goal is to speak up for the residents. Let's speak up for the residents. Residents, I am here for you.
Last but not least, I got a lot of feedback from my last announcement. A lot of people out here are struggling. A lot of people are facing foreclosure. A lot of people don't know what to do when they're hit with something like that. I got like maybe several calls regarding loan modification. I stopped by people's houses, meaning residents, and I helped them fill out the paperwork. They didn't know the proper procedures or the documentation that was required to turn in for the loan mod. Some people are just going through the process, so they haven't gotten approval back or anything like that. I told them, please let me know, but they won't come to a board meeting and let you guys know that they got approved or denied, because some people are just embarrassed or ashamed and don't want to announce it for everyone else.
So I always admired how she'd say that, and I was thinking, hey, you know, as trustee, when I was elected, I couldn't wait to speak up for the residents and to do the job that I told them that I'll do.
Again, if you do need help or assistance, my name is Trustee Tiffany Henyard. My phone number is 708-297-6859. Again, that number is 708-297-6859. And last but not least, happy Thanksgiving. Have a safe and fun holiday. Thank you.
Okay, the next portion of our meeting is the citizens.
A bit disappointed at how now that I'm in the exact same seat as the mayor, and as I stated to her before when we met a few weeks ago, we have a lot in common. We're both single moms. We both graduated from Thornridge High School, and I thought that she would just be a little bit more supportive.
She mentioned that they were both single moms and they both graduated from Thornridge High School. So those are some reasons why she was able to comfortably get behind Tiffany Henyard and have faith in her is because she could see like the similarities between the both of them, and she assumed that Tiffany was a great person, like she probably considers herself to be. Unfortunately, we see now that's not the case.
We started off, you know, we're gonna be the dream team. It's gonna be about change. We had younger people, a younger person in power. So it was really something that you thought could be great for the community.
With Kiana Belcher, her reasons were, you know, having a younger team was something that was important with her. And there was also that hope for change. So she's admitting that she feels like there needs to be some type of change. This seems like a great way to get that change started.
Let me talk about, first and foremost, why I joined Dolton. You know, you got a 37-year-old woman. She made history. Black woman, single mother. You know, that kind of resonates with me, right? So I really thought it was gonna be better.
Dr. Nikita Cloud just basically coming out and just saying it. She's 37 years old. She's a woman. She's a black woman. She's a single mother, and this is gonna make history. And she's saying that all these things resonated with her, and she felt she could relate to those things. And that was a vision she chose to get behind.
I was hoping we could get somebody that was a little bit younger for the role. I felt it was time to, you know, maybe possibly a woman. There was a little bit of experience there. She had been a trustee, you know, just became mayor.
Chris Gonzalez once again stating the age factor, right? He's saying he wants someone younger, and he also thought having a woman would be a good idea, you know, for a change. And he also noted that she at least had some kind of experience with being a trustee, and now being a mayor was also something that was kind of good and worked in her favor. Identity politics is not limited to just politics. It's something we all participate in as human beings, and you may not realize how much you participate in it on a daily basis. But we play identity politics in the workplace, in our dating life, and if you're a parent, you use identity politics to decide who is suitable to be around your child. Also, if you're a boss and looking for an employee, you're looking for someone who has a work ethic that's in line with what the company already practices, right? Unfortunately, most of the time as a boss, you get people who perform really well in interviews only to turn around and show you someone else completely different once they get the job. Because that's what Tiffany Henyard did to the residents of Dolton. She put on a good show, a good interview for the mayor's position, and she got it. But now that she has it, she's showing her true colors.
Half of the time, people in communities, they want to hear from their leader, their mayor. All right, moving on. Mayor's report.
I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Goodbye.
Second.
I'm doing my mayor's report. If y'all gonna walk out of the meeting, y'all gonna walk out of the meeting, period. So I'm doing my mayor's report.
Girl, bye. Like, really? You're supposed to be this, you know, the leader, the elected official leader. And this is how you're talking? Really? And yet you want respect.
But it's a respect level. And we sit up here and disrespect one another because you only give what somebody is giving to you. My mother is not sitting on that dais. And it's not fair that she sits here and talk to us like we're kids. It's not fair. There's a motion. There's a motion and a second on the floor, Attorney Delgado.
Girl, bye.
There's a motion and a second on the floor, Attorney Delgado.
So, mayor's report. Here we go, guys. It's a couple of things that's been going on in the community.
There's a motion and a second on the board.
You're out of line. You're out of line.
Clerk, can you call the roll? There's a motion and a second.
You out of line, trustee. So, mayor's report. Here we go. We have a couple things going on right now in the village of Dolton. I just want to point it out to you guys.
There's a motion and a second.
You out of order.
I'm not. There's a motion and a second. You had your mayor's report.
Can y'all say y'all report?
You were sitting here
I got my mayor's report.
We've been sitting here listening to you
you'll be
for
okay.
hours.
You only do one meeting. You do nothing else. So it's okay.
All I can know is what you show me. And what she displays almost every board meeting is narcissism, sociopathy, just outright disregard for anyone, even the people on her team that are there for her. Straight up disrespect for them too. It's like she doesn't like anyone. Is that possible? Well, I guess since, I feel like she's a sociopath, that could be very well possible.
But you guys need to get y'all office in order and stay out of the mess, because the clerk ain't nothing but a court reporter. That's what y'all do, report what we do at meetings. But yet y'all get in the mess, y'all go have secret squirrel meetings, y'all call meetings, being disrespectful, walk out, leave. That ain't what you're supposed to do. You guys supposed to be neutral, because that's all y'all job entails, recording things and making sure minutes are done. So one thing one resident did say that I totally agree with is, where is y'all minutes? Y'all done been here, you been here, what, a year, 2 years? 2 years, and y'all ain't got no minutes done, none? Come on, man. What are we paying you for?
If that's the case, this is something you should be addressing with them behind closed doors, as this seems like an HR issue, but you're bringing this up during a board meeting. Just totally unprofessional.
And this is what I'm talking about, residents. When everybody want to fight, everybody want to talk mess, but ain't nobody doing their job, because everybody trying to do my job. Everybody trying to tell me what to do, but they not doing whatever their office is supposed to do. And y'all should have a problem with that.
We don't control the village website. Whatever is posted on the clerk's page, whatever is removed, whatever is added, we have no control over that. Just for the record as well. I'm done, Mayor.
Please take classes to learn how to do your job.
So this is where the clerk, responds to Tiffany Henyard, okay? Because let me tell you, she was not taking it, all right? And that's probably why she ain't there right now, because she was not willing to put up with the verbal abuse from Tiffany Henyard.
I'm gonna make this very quick, because you've already wasted enough of the people's time. As it relates again to the final judgment for the FOIA case, it's October the 13th, 2023. And again, as it relates to the website, the minutes are not on there because we do not control the village's website. Whatever is posted, not posted, added, or removed has nothing to do with the clerk's office. Also, as it relates to the minutes, as the village clerk has already communicated to you, we do not write word for word. We follow the Open Meetings Act states. We don't follow what you say, Mayor. What the law states is what we write. Check the law and comprehend it, and you'll see why we write it the way that we do. It is a summary. We have been here for almost 2 minutes and we haven't even gotten through, 2 hours. We haven't even gotten through the agenda. Do you expect us to write that word for word? I think you're looking for a transcriber, and that is not in our duties. We do not transcribe. If you would like a transcriber, perhaps you should address the board and add it to the budget. But myself nor the village clerk will be transcribing minutes word for word, and that is for the record. Thank you.
So yeah, pretty much she stood up for herself. She was not gonna let Tiffany go unchecked.
All right, I'm gonna say this and we're gonna move on. Y'all need to be respectful.
Yes, that was Tiffany Henyard telling someone else that they needed to be respectful.
You need to chill out. Turn around. Girl back. Go on with all the nutball stuff.
So yeah, she's saying you need to turn around. Girl, bye. Go on with all the nutball stuff. You're supposed to be the leader, and you just said you wanted respect. Like, this is how you treated this girl earlier in the meeting, and you really can't be surprised when someone wants to defend themselves. Okay, when they come at you with the same energy that you're giving them, don't be surprised.
And that's the problem here. Everybody again want to clap back, and then when I clap back, everybody got attitude. Be respectful, Deputy Clerk. And your problem, hold on, you out of order. Did I not give you the floor? Deputy Clerk, you out of order.
I won't respect
Deputy Clerk.
You don't respect.
Deputy Clerk, you're out of order. And that's your problem. People need to learn to stay in their place.
She's talking to people like they're her kids. They're not her kids. They don't have to sit there and let her talk to them however she wants to.
Stop lying to the people about what it is you in your office should be doing. You and Clerk Key, period. Y'all need to come to work. Y'all are never here. Y'all need to do what you're supposed to do, which is have the minutes ready and make sure you review them. And if you guys would give us the minutes so we can review them before, so we can go and say, hey, add this, change that. And I said it's at the last meeting. And your job is to record what I'm saying. And if I say for the record, that means that you need to type what I'm saying. So won't you learn your position? Stop trying to clap at me. So we moving on. Next, village
Mayor, I have a
administrator.
motion to suspend the rules.
Okay, we finna move on. We got village administrator
got a
report.
motion and a second on the suspend the rules.
We're finna move on to the reports.
Attorney, we have a motion. And a
Why?
second
Why do you want to
the
suspend?
rules.
Why do you want to suspend the?
Because
Why?
general
What are you
comments have
doing?
been-
I didn't say call the roll. Y'all are out of order.
So you guys, you can see her losing a little bit of the control, and I think she's kind of feeling that energy that the deputy clerk, she stood up for herself. And so now, and then we have trustee Jason House saying, he liked to suspend the rules, and she's like, what are you talking about? No, I need to stay in control of the situation, especially after being checked by someone who is beneath me. I have to stay in control the whole time. What are you talking about? I thought that was a little bit funny because she had like a little panic attack going on.
So you have to give me the same respect that I give you, whether you like me or not. I still respect the seat. You guys do not run a day-to-day operation, and you need to stop trying to. So please respect how the setup is.
And the hypocrisy is strong with this one. For some people who still might be leaning towards, oh, well, she's doing good. No one ever, shows the good stuff she's doing. So for people like that, they might need the side-by-side comparison so they can see who she really is now compared to who she claimed herself to be when she was running for mayor.
RFPs, they continue to say, oh, well, they do the work, pay the people. If they wanted these people to be paid, one, they'll pay them like they do everybody else. They don't wait on us. Typically, so they shouldn't start waiting today. That's one. Then secondly, if we want them to get paid, let's be transparent. We all here. What's the problem with RFPs? We've been asking for RFPs since the start. Bring the people up here and let them bid for the jobs so we know what work is being done and how much we're paying for the work.
An RFP is a request for proposal. It's a business document that announces a project, describes it, and solicits bids from qualified contractors to complete it. So this next clip is going to be of someone coming from a business, just kind of explaining and putting a proposal in for their business to be in Dolton. And they have to go before the board at this time because that was in order at that time. But now I guess everything's just willy-nilly. We just do whatever we want, hire whoever we want, give whoever how much money. It's just a free-for-all. So
that's really up to the municipality to enforce as far as the fine goes. And the reason for that is every municipality is different. I've worked with communities in Florida, for example, that want us to be very lenient with the banks.
So you guys, while this guy is making his proposal, you can see Tiffany obviously getting very worked up, wanting to interrupt because she is not on board with this business. And that is the importance of RFPs because her as a trustee right now, she gets to say her piece and she gets to tell exactly why she's not with this business coming to Dolton and why she doesn't see how it would be a benefit for Dolton.
So I repeat my statement again, and that's why I'm trying to get the board and residents to understand why do we need him if we have to still do all the legwork. We still have to enforce everything he's stating. We can hire a Dolton resident to do this job, residents and board. So I will hope that you guys will support me on either tabling this for further review or looking for a resident to do this job.
Wasn't it nice as a trustee, she can give her input on what business is going to be coming to Dolton and do the RFPs and all that good stuff. But now that she's mayor, somehow that whole process has just magically stopped. Why would she stop this process? There are some people out there speculating that she wants to hire whatever company she wants at whatever price she wants and doesn't really want to include the trustees and be transparent because she might be skimming a little bit off the top, if you know what I'm saying, just a little bit off the top. So this next example, I'm going to show you Tiffany Henyard as the mayor first. And she's talking about how, as a trustee, or she never had time to be up in people's pockets, how much they got paid. She was too busy with the residents, blah, 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 grandstanding, all that stuff. She always does. Every board meeting.
And that show you that people are really, really geared up by people's salary. That's sad. Because I didn't know how much nobody made. I ran because I care and I just wanted to fix my town. Didn't care about the salary. Why? Because any of y'all that know me know that I am a business person.
Yeah, we get it. You had 2 businesses that got shut down. You were a landlord and was on the news for being a slumlord. Oh my goodness. I honestly don't know how the trustees put up with her. Like, I could see why Kiana Belcher got to the point that she got to.
And it's sad because you guys ran on my ticket, both of y'all, Trustee Belcher and Trustee House. Both y'all did. And when you ran on my ticket, y'all ran on my vision. My vision is to fix our community.
The vision wasn't to rob the city. The vision wasn't for the FBI. The vision wasn't for you to steal all the money. Don't talk about the bill. Tell me when we get $6.8 million. You won't answer that. I'm telling you, these people, you can't tell me nothing. I don't have to sit here and videotape everything I do, but I know what I ain't done. I ain't commingled no money. I ain't stole no money, and I ain't going to jail. Ladies and gentlemen, quiet down.
I mean, I'm just reporting on her and I'm about done with her. Okay, you guys, as you can see, she's a business person, okay? And she's not worried about anybody else's pockets. So let's go ahead and rewind a little bit to Trustee Henyard.
And I want to add, just for the record, Mary Kay, that I agree with Trustee Hunt. I think the mayor should be every 2 weeks, just like everybody else up here on this board. I don't think that a vote was even taken when they did decide to make him monthly. I don't think no one should get paid monthly. Everybody should get paid every 2 weeks. And if I'm not mistaken, attorney, we're supposed to stay current to whatever we were sworn into, which is every 2 weeks. Is that not correct, attorney? Yeah, it says that it follows our term. So if we come in and we got sworn in and we get paid every 2 weeks, we're supposed to stay every 2 weeks.
Well, typically the term would be the amount, the salary you get. The salary has to remain the same during your term. You
Correct.
Can't lower it or raise it.
Correct.
I don't know if there's anything that dictates how many times you get paid.
There wasn't, and we reviewed that before the change was made. This was discussed at the last meeting, and I thought it was put to bed, but apparently it hasn't. I'm not making any more money than I earn regularly, and for me to get paid once a month, what's the big difference?
She was grilling him, and she definitely was all up in his pockets.
And that show you that people are really, really geared up by people's salary. That's sad, because I didn't know how much nobody made. I ran because I care and I just wanted to fix my town.
She was just very concerned. She made it her business. And for her to say that as a mayor that she was never concerned with that stuff is a total discrepancy. Her plan all along was to be mayor. That's what she wanted to do. So she would do little things like this at power grabs. And in this case, she was trying to appeal to the audience and trying to make the mayor look like he was doing something shisty with his pay.
Business person had everything I got before politics. Well, politics.
I am seeking $100,000 for 10% of equity in my company. The funds will be used to purchase 2 more food trucks, but the problem is, it's not enough for me to go around.
Everything. But thank God, God blessed me, put me in a place to receive and to give back to my community. So when we go out of state or we go out of town, we bring back money to our community. And that's how we're able to create programs for you.
Just like you just said, you got donations for the basketball court. And if you got donations, how much are the donations? Because you're asking us to approve almost $20-something thousand for a basketball court that we didn't talk about. So if these donations came in, all we're doing is being transparent to say, well, how much donation did you get? Because we don't have that since it was donated.
Trustee, I got money for the basketball court.
Okay, how much?
I paid for the entire.
How much?
Oh no, I paid for the entire amount. That's
how much?
Whatever amount you say that I spent on this one, this is the amount that I got for the basketball court.
All right, thank you. Well, how much donation did you get? Because we don't have that since it was donated.
Whatever amount you say that I spent on this one, this is the amount that I got. So for the record, Clerk, I did not pay anybody from the village funds for political use or political accounts. I don't have to. Everyone knows that.
One more thing I asked a question earlier. The price that we paid
to let that lady stay in a hotel room from that moldy house that Trustee Henyard manages or owns. The price was $540 that we paid to house her for a month. So what's the process of getting that money back?
It was for the regular price was $350 a week that the hotel wanted to charge. They said it would discount it since it was an emergency situation. He was trying to help the young lady.
Okay, so what's the process of getting that money back to the village? That money was put out, but Trustee Henyard would be interested in paying that money back to the village.
Our village attorneys.
Y'all are out of order. Where's the attorney at?
Our village attorney suggested that we pursue those costs to Trustee Henyard.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to know.
Okay.
And for the record, y'all do know this is a government meeting. This has nothing to do with civil matter. Just for the record, Mayor Kay.
Okay.
For the record, anytime you got public money getting used, we have a right to address public money being used.
I did not pay anybody from the village funds for political use or political accounts. I don't have to. Everyone knows that.
All the while, Dolton taxpayers even helped foot the bill to keep Smith's family off the streets.
He thought that, the village should be compassionate. She had nowhere to go. She had children. What we thought was to actually bill Trustee Henyard.
I learned this afternoon that Jacqueline Smith and her kids are now staying with a friend. The village is no longer paying for the hotel, and she doesn't have the money. I'm still waiting on a list of any citations Trustee Henyard received because of that house.
You need a building to staff for training, correct?
Correct.
Comcast building be perfect.
Comcast building was recommended to be demolished because of the damage that it sustained from the auto accident. The roof is caved in, and it's not in rehabable condition. And plus, throughout the whole facility is filled with mold.
That's like everything else we sell, Mayor. We sold properties that has mold and they fixed them, right?
Throughout the whole facility is filled with mold. Throughout the whole facility is filled with mold.
Jacqueline Smith and her 2 children called this hotel room home for almost a month. Ever since the Dolton house they were renting from village trustee Tiffany Henyard was slapped with this.
A big red sign that I cannot live there because it's unlivable.
Unlivable mostly because of mold.
All mold.
You want us to give a property, an unsafe piece of property, to a nonprofit that's going to have people in it.
Yes.
And take the risk of that property.
Yes, I do. And you let me explain why. Because I don't like how you sit here and try to make people believe it's unsafe.
And I think that this trustee is wrong. She has not, the kids done got sick, their clothes got mold on it, it's termites in the house, it's feces under the house. This place is unlivable, and she has not did anything to fix the place up.
Unsafe. I do real estate for a living. Hold on.
Mr. Engineer, did you go in that building?
So if you want to buy property, we want property that's abandoned, got mold, roof cave in, whatever. And you're gonna fix it. And you're gonna fix it.
And she has not did anything to fix the place up. Children are involved. It's a health issue. Black mold. I got pictures. I got everything. The problem that I'm having, Mr. Mayor, is this. This trustee used her influence to get this house to pass inspection, and a dog shouldn't live in it. And a dog shouldn't live in it.
So you should go look at these properties and judge it for yourself if it's feasible for you. That's what I would do.
I agree, Trustee.
But I'm just trying to let you know we do own property, the village does, and I think you should go check them out. So whoever advising you, they're telling you wrong. We own property.
The sewage line is broke. There's feces under the house. If you think I'm lying, I got pictures. Because this is about to culminate to a lawsuit. And then we're talking about a trustee who is a slumlord. And that trustee is Ms. Henyard.
So if you want to buy property, we want property that's abandoned, got mold, roof cave in, whatever.
Tiffany Henyard is an example of failed leadership. She acted the same way as a trustee, disrespectful, rude, and she would play on the emotions of the residents to get them on her side. And that is the key reason how she ended up becoming mayor in the first place. because she said what the residents wanted to hear, and she would constantly go against the previous mayor when she didn't agree with him. So can she really be surprised when the trustees that ran on her ticket stick up for themselves? When she appears to be falling back on her main promise that she sold herself with in the beginning, which was transparency? No, Tiffany is not 100% the blame. Because if she would have been checked earlier when she was a trustee and dealt with properly, then she wouldn't be in the position of power that she is now. It's almost the equivalent of giving a disobedient child a reward like some candy, and then expecting them to behave themselves. They're just going to act worse next time around because in their mind, bad behaviors equals rewards, right? And for Tiffany Henyard right now, that seems to be the exact case. It's almost like there's no code of conduct they have to go by since they're elected officials. I don't know. Maybe there isn't. Let me know what you guys think. Does being in politics mean that you don't have to go by the normal societal rules of what's right and what's wrong? Maybe I'm just a naive, regular old citizen that still thinks people should treat others as they would like to be treated. All right, that's going to be it for today. Once again, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave it a like. And if you're new here, subscribe.